Team Reflex, Team Lionheart. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let me first introduce my fellow judges. I'd like first of all to welcome back Chandula Abevikrama, the Deputy General Manager of HNB, one of our partners in Ideators. Very good to have you back, Chandula.
Yeah.
And this week, at long last, we are addressing the gender imbalance in our judging panel. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome from Hydramani Group of Companies, the Head of Design, Piumi Pereira.
Thank you, Tony.
Welcome. And our episode partners and our episode judge this week are Duminda International, known as bodykits.lk, famous for their racing and for their car modification. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our episode judge this evening, Duminda.
Thank you, Tony. First of all, I'd like to invite this team. Why did you choose that design?
Basically, our idea was to show sort of an exterior vision of the engine. And we also wanted to show that collaboration with Carabao. Carabao is sort of fueling their engine, and to show that there is sort of, since like Team Amara series is about the three siblings, we wanted to show that connection that they share as siblings, also with their brand, their sponsors.
And what about you?
The basic concept was based around the fact that Carabao and Team Amara series were both very passionate figures. What they stood for was very passionate. Like Carabao was to do with fighting, but for the good cause, and it guess they were trying to represent something tough, something strong. And same with Team Amara series. For them, it's passion and fire. So our concept was to blend the two together.
And you happy with your team or how they support you?
I'm happy with the team. It supported me really well.
And the time frame?
Time frame was a little too short, but I believe we did the best. Like, we put more than 100% within that time frame.
Question. I assume when you're racing, as well as a very eye-catching design, which is what you told the teams you wanted, I presume there's some sort of numbering on the car.
Yeah.
Was that part of your brief?
Yeah.
And did they both do it?
Because this is a racing car.
And did they both do it?
Should be a number. Competition.
I only saw a number on one car, is that correct?
Yeah.
Did you have a number on your car? Yes or no? You didn't. That's enough? That's enough? Did you have a number on your car?
Yeah.
What number was it?
58.
58.
If I may interject, we were told that the race number changes each race, so putting a number on there might defeat the objective.
In initial brief, I mean, it's more branding as well as your branding. The client's branding as well as your branding, both has to go 50-50.
Yeah.
Was it the brief? No?
Yeah.
So that's want to make sure that not only the client's brand but also Amara brand has to go 50-50.
Final question though. I mean, who is the client here? Who's paying your check, do you think?
Carabao.
You think so?
It's the sponsorship that's paying for the...
No, they're not paying your check. They may be paying Duminda's costs.
It's Duminda International.
You think Duminda's paying you? International? Bodykits.lk.
And Carabao are paying them in sponsorship.
Okay.
So
Interesting difference of interpretation there, which we get. Okay, this is the moment where we have to ask our episode partner, the client, who set you the brief, who told you what they wanted, who gave you an opportunity to interpret that brief, to question, and then you made up your own mind, you came up with a concept, you implemented it. Duminda, who's the winning team?
Winning team is you.
Team Lionheart. Congratulations. So you may go out and congratulate yourself.
It's a race car, not a random car. It's a race car.
Dan Upekshi, would you like to come and sit a little closer to the judges? What was your role this week, Upekshi?
To do the research, and once the research was done, I helped.
What did you research?
On both Carabao and the team.
Adam, do you play a dominant role in trying to bring this more promotional type than racing vehicle?
I think I suggested that we shouldn't try and modify the logo of Team Amarissuri because if we modify it, it has to be used consistently for all other promotions, which I kind of think defeats the object. It means that the logo on the other team's car doesn't necessarily match up with things like posters, leaflets and the website. I'm kind of a little bit confused about why that...
I think you are a little bit confused, Adam.
Really?
Sounds to me like you think you were working for Caribou, not for Team Amorisserie.
At the end of the day, Caribou is the sponsor. They're paying
They are the
for
sponsor. But who were you hired by?
Okay, sorry, my mistake.
I think so. I think so.
But how much space have you given to Team Amorisserie?
That's why we even chose like white letters as opposed to black letters that we put on the side. We chose white letters to highlight it against the red. It would stand out more. So
It was a balance of both, actually.
It does not look like a balance of both.
Yeah.
Team Amorisserie is a little insignificant on that.
We had the name right in front so that when the car is headed straight, that people would be able to see that this is Team Amorisserie.
Alex, what did you feel was your biggest contributing factor to this project?
I think the initial research into the company, taking the time to read all about the team and how much heart and soul they put into the cars, and that they do know so much more than just how to drive. They know how to be innovative with their cars. So that was where the whole theory of the under the hood and putting a design that would show people that this team don't just know how to drive, but they know how to...
Somewhere in the juxtaposition of Team Amorisserie and Caribou, Team Amorisserie got the bottom half.
I think the time has come, unless anybody's got any further questions, where we have to ask two of you to leave the room. The two people we would like to leave are Alex and Dan. Rupekshi, Adam, Indrajit, you may remain. Problems with the abstract design of the winning team this evening. What was that all about, Rupekshi?
It was not, like, going back to Arctic Cola, that was way too abstract. That was very hard for people to understand. But I think we moved away from that, and we tried to convey the message through what we had, even at a distance. But it seems like the sponsors, I think we highlighted the sponsors more on the car, so we weren't able to achieve.
But learned that lesson a little bit too late, perhaps. Indrajit, team leader, my fellow judges and I think you have demonstrated a lot of creativity, perhaps too much. Maybe you got caught up in your own creativity. People were contributing, talking to you, but were you listening? Rupekshi, research, flawed, left your brief behind. Aside from that, your contributions, you seem to have learnt a lot tonight, but perhaps you should have learnt more during the task and shared it with your team. Adam, sales and marketing, big strength, lots of ideas every week. But tonight you had the wrong idea and you took your team with you down a wrong path. Difficult, but we're clear. Tonight's elimination is Rupekshi. We were unable to see enough evidence of entrepreneurial skills. You both contributed. That's important. Thank you.
Fair enough, I guess. Well, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I learned a lot, but there's a bigger world out there. This is not the end of it. It's a fair decision, I would say. I think the others deserve to stay more than I do.
Here we go again. I made a mistake. Where do I belong in this great escape? Chasing pavements, building castles in the sky. Finding out the meaning of this life. Oh, though this is the end of the fight, a battle I fought with all my mind. It's given me life tonight, a reason to chase the light, a reason to chase the light, a reason to chase the light.